Smallvilles Allison Mack may be negotiating plea to cruel and punitive role in sex trafficking case. 3 defendants accused of crimes from sex trafficking to conspiracy as part of are in active plea negotiations as their scheduled trial next month draws near, according to prosecutors. This revelation came out in court on Monday as a 4th defendant, co-founder Keith Raniere, entered a not guilty plea to newly filed child pornography charges related to the case, according to they. Among those charged is, who was accused last April of sex trafficking conspiracy and forced labor conspiracy through her involvement with NZIV and its subgroup DOS, which prosecutors have described as an all-female secret society of masters and slaves in which women allegedly were forced to be sexually subservient to Raniere. These slaves said Mack was incredibly intimidating, cruel and punitive, a source close to 2 former DOS members told The Hollywood Reporter in a published last May. Raniere earlier pleaded not guilty to all other charges against him in the case. A 5th defendant, that would leave Mack, along with former NXIVM bookkeeper Kathy Russell and Lauren Salzman, the daughter of Raniere's second-in-command Nancy Salzman, as the 3 remaining defendants with whom prosecutors are in active plea negotiations, according to the statement in court Monday by Assistant U.S. Attorney Moira Penza, reports the Associated Press. The prosecutor's office declined People's request to formally identify those with whom they were negotiating. Along with Mack, Nancy Salzman, who co-founded NXIVM with Raniere, in the case, insisting to a judge, "Despite her plea, I still believe some of what we did was good," reports the Times-Union. It was the first conviction in the case that has drawn the attention of federal investigators. NXIVM was based out of Albany, New York, and has been the subject of scrutiny from both law enforcement and journalists after it came under fire from Madanasti actress Catherine Oxenberg, whose estranged daughter, India, joined the group in 2011. About how she believed India had been brainwashed by NXIVM. Last month, a federal judge denied a 3rd request for bail from Raniere, meaning he will remain behind bars until at least April 29, the scheduled start of his trial on sex trafficking and forced labor charges. The judge's decision to reject the motion for $1 million bail argues that Raniere remains a flight risk, according to records obtained by People. The order refers to upon learning investigators were closing in on NXIVM to arrest some of its senior members. NXIVM, which suspended operations in 2018, has been described by at least one former member as a cult. Mack, one of the group's most prominent members, is best known for her years-long role as Chloe Sullivan on the UPS Smallville. She is facing Raniere, who was arrested in March 2018, faces the same charges plus wire fraud and racketeering. If convicted, federal investigators have accused Mack of recruiting women into the NXIVM subgroup that was purported to be a female mentorship group to address their weaknesses but was, allegedly, a group created by Raniere that took advantage of women sexually. The victims were then exploited, both sexually and for their labor, to the defendants' benefit. Richard P. Donahue, U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, alleged in a statement issued at the time of Mack's arrest, referring to both Mack and Raniere. Bronfman was charged last July with racketeering conspiracy in connection to her involvement with the group. She has pleaded not